I've been thinking a lot about the semantic web, and actually the last time I came and talked about the semantic web as well. But since we're on the notion of shopping and stuff, and I actually just kind of thought about this idea as I was sitting there. And basically, my idea is that there's a web, and this sort of graph web, and for a second, I'd just like to focus on the fashion vertical. So let's say you put in this, you input into this web your fashion kind of clothes that you like to wear, the brands that you like to wear, etc. And it tracks this and it kind of gives you recommendations on the next thing that you'd like to purchase. So like the next jacket, because of the season, it's getting fall, and these are the types of jackets that you like to buy. And this graph would also kind of tie into like the fashion industry. So you kind of keep up to date with the new kind of jackets that are coming out, etc. So basically, it gives you a recommendation of the next product that you're going to purchase, and it kind of creates an alert. So now, going back to his idea about deals, it knows that this is the next jacket that you'd like to buy, and you can kind of specify the time frame, maybe 2 weeks, or you'd like to buy this jacket within the next month, and it give you, every day or every week, it kind of give you an update on, okay, this is the best time to buy this jacket because it's at the lowest price point. And this is sort of what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if you guys kind of get what I'm talking about.
Predictive shopping?
Pretty much. So it kind of basically gives you a recommendation or a prediction of the next item that you're going to purchase, and it kind of creates an alert so that it can keep track of all the prices within the week or within the month. And then when at that price point or when you're ready to buy, you can actually buy it.
I think it would work better for products you use more often, like household items.
Sure, yeah.
Like soap or something like that.
Yeah, the reason why I focus on the fashion vertical, because if you're a fashionista or you're really into fashion, then there's an opportunity for fashion websites or fashion magazines or different brands to kind of advertise on here, and kind of you'd have a business model in that. But yeah, it could be really work for any vertical.
So I'm not a shopper, I don't enjoy it, and I don't shop online, because that's not me. I'm single too. But something like that I could find is valuable, because instead of me having to pay a personal shopper, it's coming to me and I can make a choice and move on. As long as it's not into my email box, it's a site that I go to that knows me, or something along that line that isn't invasive.
Right. You could build the intelligence into this platform. So let's talk about kitchen supplies, for example. And you say that you just recently bought a bottle of dish detergent, and say maybe a month from now, this is going to provide a recommendation to buy another bottle because it recognizes that you're probably at the low end of the supply and you need to buy a new bottle. So it could maybe even automatically track prices for you and tell you, okay, you should buy it now. So there's a deal at Target or a deal at Walmart or etc. Whatever.
And I do like the fashion vertical though.
Yeah.
But specifically along that line.
Yeah, and I was thinking,
have my brands, but yeah. So
and I was thinking, let's say for home entertainment, and you input all the electronics that you have. Let's say you have a specific TV, a specific receiver, etc. And maybe you can build a graph around it and actually understand the specifications that you need for your next TV or for your next speakers, so it knows that, okay, this product might not be compatible, so this is the most compatible product for you, and based on the brand preference that you have, you should buy this one.
Yeah, so the core of what you're talking about is this graph that the web is, you talk about semantic web. So like Hunch.com is trying to do the same thing, but they talk about there's massive machine learning algorithm that's in the back that's trying to it makes recommendations for you based on something. Like, actually, I think you have to import all your Facebook contacts and your other stuff into it, or it needs access to your life, and then it'll figure out it's using some neural network weighted nodes or whatever what you want. The tricky part is just something to think about. Is like Amazon does a great job of this. It took like 10 to 15 years to just get their recommendation engine down. And I think a lot of it, if you take it apart, is just like hard coded and figuring out. Like they probably have a lot of specific code for each person almost, or each group of people, as opposed to the one algorithm of everything. Which sort of like, it's kind of like the grand unified theory, everyone's looking for it. Like it's something to, so a vertical is great. I wonder if fashion's right, because if you get it wrong, people will hate you. That's just, fashion's like, oh, I hate that you think I'm that fat, like, people are just gonna,
Yeah.
home entertainment's probably easier, like, you recommend that to guys who are like, yes.
Yeah,
That's on
yeah.
TV, yeah.
I mean, like, hardware
If you get it right,
specifications, you
they're
can't
gonna
get
If
it
you get it wrong,
wrong.
it's like, oh, whatever, I'll just go with mine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, for hardware specifications, you can't really get it wrong, because you know this is incompatible to a system that you're building at home, so
Yeah.
the recommendations could be a little bit easier, and you could
It's
tell.
quantifiable,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
fashion's hard.
Yeah,
The thing is, like, home products, it's like, serves a function, like a specific function, so it's easier, like you said, it's like, this is what it does, this is it. But like, with fashion, I mean, people have different tastes, you know, and like, what someone might, I mean, I feel like maybe instead of recommending, this is what you should buy, you should like, these are the 6 choices we have for you. And then maybe like, I'm feeling lucky, like a button, like, cause some people like to go really crazy with their fashion.
right.
So, and another thing is like, no one wants to wear the same sweater as, you know, the person sitting next to you. So that could be, you know, they wanna feel like they bought something that's like unique versus like, with the TV, it's like, oh, all my friends have this crazy Panasonic TV. I have it too, and it makes it, for their own identity, it's like, but with fashion, it's like, you know, I got this scarf from Paris and no one else has it. Do you know what I mean?
And because I totally misunderstood it when we first started talking about fashion, is that once you started, like, we started like predict, I was thinking, oh, like, okay, he's looking like ahead, like what are like next season styles gonna be, or like what's next fall gonna be? And so then I immediately started thinking like, wow, this dude's gonna tie in like all the runway shows in like Milan and New York and everything
Yeah.
like that. That's pretty sweet. So I don't know if that was even in your realm, if it was just like the purchasing, or if it's like this, the whole idea is in the concept, because.
Yeah, well, for the fashion vertical, did have that kind
Yeah.
of basically, so like, let's say you read Vogue or something like that, so you kind of would pull in from Vogue, I'm not sure how technical savvy they are, but let's say you pull from their API or something, and on their website, you know, all the collection of jackets that are coming out for next season, this one has the most likes, and maybe it realizes that this application realizes that you're really into this designer, so it's going to recommend that specific jacket based on the likes and your preference for designers, etc. But that's the fashion vertical, and I'm kind of sensing that that might be a harder vertical to get into, and like, you know, electronics and products might be easier, but
I don't know, I think it's great vertical, I think it's awesome.
I think it actually is a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could basically sell things before they're even made.
Right, right.
You know, it's like, I mean, with all the lights and stuff, you could build a brand before it even like it's manufactured.
And the brand manufacturers would love that too.
Yeah,
I mean,
because, yeah. I mean, you think you're the product manager, the designer, or whatever it is, you know how much you're gonna make, and
what I'm interested in,
Okay,
though,
yeah.
are you guys more interested in like the ability for it to recommend the next product, or are you more interested in the ability that it can track prices and tell you when the right time is to buy for a certain product? Like, is it the recommendation side or the?
I like the search engine aspect of it. You know, I want to be able to type in industrial, you know, metallic, club, you know, a couple keywords, and then it's going to find a whole bunch of and then, you know, find a whole bunch of jackets that kind of
Right.
fit that.
but
I
they,
like the recommendation portion.
So-
But I like it to know what I order and to go along that line. So my whole closet looks exactly the same. So it would be nice to have that with the, what do you call it? I'm feeling lucky button or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
random.
That would be great.
Yeah, so
Add variety, yeah.
so the utility added of, you know, saving prices isn't really the factor, the benefit here, it's more about finding out what you want to buy next and like getting that information, exploring that.
yeah.
that area.
I feel like if you like did some research on how people feel when they go shopping, they discover the excitement of discovery when you find something, like somehow take that emotion and put it into your website where you're like, wow, versus, oh, I knew that was gonna happen because everyone else is wearing it. I mean, that's the challenge, is to stay ahead and keep people excited about it, and that's what would draw me to your website, is only your website can provide this type of, you know.
So on the fashion thing, one thing that could really work is like a what's hot feature.
Okay.
Because if you're talking about aggregating a lot of stuff, it doesn't have to be one way, because from the time it starts at one way till the time that it shows up at, you know, I don't know, H&M or something. That's a long process. But like,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.